Hello, Aries. Welcome in. Welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name is Wendy Wing. I'm doing an Aries reading. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Cross watchers are welcome. An Aries reading specifically looking at the messages for November 2025, the month ahead. So, thank you. There's a lot coming out in the overall energy. I'll take it. What's hidden from Aries? What's hidden from Aries that would be helpful? Nothing. Aries sees everything. Everything's out in the open. There we go. All right. Outcome and advice for Aries. Outcome and advice for Aries. Thank you. All right, a lot of cards coming out. All right, tons of cards. Not only in the overall energy, but in the outcome and advice. All right, we've got the Devil reversed. King of Pentacles reversed. Temperance. Ace of Pentacles. Eight of Cups. We're not even done. We're still going. There's two cards came out as a challenge to these overall energies. The Hanged Man reverse and the Seven of Wands in reverse. Coming out as a challenge to the overall energy. All right, let's break this down for Aries. Looks like there's a lot going on for you in November. The first thing, Devil reverse. It feels like you're detaching from toxic energies, anything that's draining you. It looks like you're letting go of. King of Pentacles in reverse. King of Pentacles in reverse is my card for someone who's not grounded, someone who wants abundance, wants to appear abundant, but they lack stability, security. They're more focused with their ego, with the story, with how they're being perceived, but they're not really stable. Feels like that might be who you're cutting out, Aries. Someone who's pretending that they've got it all, that they've got things together, but they're draining with the devil next door. Devil reverse. It feels like you're detaching from people who are draining or more concerned with appearances, not really capable of creating stability, adaptability, like really groundedness. It looks like you're alchemizing with temperance, being very patient, or there's a need for you to be patient. Feels like it's the way the imagery is. Temperance has got a very strong, and with that fire, it feels like fire, Aries, fire type of energy. Feels like there's a patience as you detach from someone who's more concerned with appearances, to alchemize this energy. With the Ace of Pentacles as the next, it feels like there's a new opportunity. You might in November have like 1 foot in what you're leaving behind, what you're detaching, who you're detaching from that's just not effective. It could be belief systems that don't work, that are concerned with appearances. It could be clearing out belief systems around instability, insecurity. It could be clearing out people. It could be clearing out situations that aren't for you. It feels like there's a lot of letting go of what doesn't work so you can make space for a new opportunity. Ace of Pentacles. Alchemizing. It takes some time to process, to shift those energies, shift your energies. Okay. All right. Let me see. And then we've got the Eight of Cups. You're walking away, even though there are maybe emotional attachments or emotions. It feels like it's just not enough. And you're challenged by Hanged Man reverse, Seven of Wands reverse, being in a very vulnerable position. Feels like you're leaving, what you're leaving behind, detaching from. It's not cut and dried. It's not, it feels like it's difficult. There's some level of difficulty with this, even if it is toxic, because there's some type of attachment and you might feel vulnerable. But there's something that you've seen. There's a new perspective. It feels like you've seen something. Whatever that is that you've seen with the Hanged Man, a new perspective, a shift. And once you see it, see them, see the situation, it feels like that gives you the permission to walk away. Maybe a realization that they won't change, the situation won't change, and that's just not enough. Let's see if we can get closer to this King of Pentacles in reverse energy. I get the feeling that this person, the devil energy, who you're cutting out, who you're removing from your energy, is unapologetic. They lack care. I feel like you've got more emotions, more emotional attachments. You care more, and that's a problem. Feels like you have 8 emotions, 8 cups worth, and they don't even have 5. They don't care. There's a lack of care that's evident. And I think you're realizing, even though you're vulnerable, maybe you don't have the security and stability yet, but it feels like you've seen something that's helping you walk away towards a new opportunity. Tell me about this new opportunity for Aries. Very tangible. It's a seed of opportunity, so it's not fully formed. It's something that you have to nurture, add water to, care for it, grow it. Wow. A new opportunity. 2 of Cups. Partnership. I'm not seeing love type of messages in this. This could be a new opportunity between you and your higher self. What type of partnership? Coming together with someone else. Queen of Wands. It looks like you're very attractive. You might be attracting people in around this new opportunity. These cards came out as a challenge. Hierophant reverse, Page of Swords, and Sun. A challenge to this new opportunity. Feels like you've got to let go of an old opportunity first. Maybe there's a contract that needs to be broken through. It feels like it's going to take some time. Temperance coming out. This isn't a one-day thing. This might not even be 1 month. It feels like I'm saying, it feels like you've got one foot in an old environment, something that you've been letting go of, someone who's uncaring, and it feels like you're creating your new life. It's still a challenge to have that new life because that old life is still kind of have some breadcrumbs, still some of that old energy. It's a challenge for you to tell your story differently, see things differently so you can have things differently. Feels like it's a challenge for you to be happy in this new life. Imagining yourself happy might be difficult. With the Queen of Wands here, it feels like going for what you desire. What's your highest excitement? Being your most authentic self. Trying things out. Learn from your mistakes. Queen of Wands goes after what she desires. She is authentically herself. She doesn't care what other people think about her. And that makes her very attractive. Someone who's themselves. They don't care what other people project on them. It feels like you very well could be stepping into a more authentic version of yourself, and you're attracting people, maybe someone who's interested in this new version of you. Nine of Swords coming out as a challenge. There's some type of comfort zone that it feels like you might be stuck in. Maybe it's in, if this was a relationship that you're detaching from, it feels like the difficulty you might be having is centering. It feels like I might be talking to an Aries who has centered romantic relationships. And so when a relationship ends, then it's like you can't see yourself as an individual. It feels like you see yourself as half, as part of a relationship. And so if you center relationships, romantic relationship, if that is what's at the center of what you want out of life, to be in partnership, it feels like there's some time that needs to happen to rebalance so you can become who you want, so you can attract someone differently. Otherwise, it feels like you might be in a comfort zone of feeling like you need to be in a relationship. There might be some emotional attachments, feeling like you're vulnerable if you don't have someone else. Feels like you might be attached to that idea that you have to be in part of a pair. Maybe that's, well, let's look at what's hidden. Hierophant. Second time the Hierophant's out, which is associated with wedding, marriage, connection, tradition, Taurus energy, some type of tradition. It feels like you might have a family tradition. Okay, yes. All right, Two of Pentacles, Devil, Seven of Swords, Four of Wands in reverse. This feels like a tradition, that being in centering romantic relationships, that is the end all, to be part of a romantic, be married, be in a relationship. With Two of Pentacles, it feels like you might have been played by someone who is very devil energy. Draining, toxic. Someone wanted to hook their wagon onto yours, and they were deceptive with Seven of Swords. And it feels like around a wedding that they changed. Maybe on the honeymoon, after the wedding, it's like a bait and switch, because they know that you need to be in a romantic relationship. And so it feels like someone took advantage of your belief systems that are traditional, or that you need to be part of because of family, religion, society, telling you that you are half. You are incomplete without being in a romantic connection, without being married. Something like that is what I'm tuning into. And so with that need, it feels like someone or many people have taken advantage of your need to be part of a partnership. And it's attracted people who are toxic or taking advantage of those needs, who mask, who perform, who tell you what you want to hear. And then there's a bait and switch. Anything else? Temperance now in reverse. And it feels like then they purposely create an imbalance where purposefully keeping you unbalanced. For some of you, making you the problem. Oh, they really just wanted someone to bully. Behind closed doors, someone that they could burden. This feels like a family tradition, 6 of Cups in reverse. To manipulate, say what you need to do to hook someone into marriage. But really, they wanted someone to bully, someone that they could pick on, someone that they could be cruel to behind closed doors. And it looks like this is a family tradition to burden the person in the romantic relationship, to stop them from expanding, to kind of keep them from moving, making moves, moving on. And the outcome and advice, we have the 3 of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, the World reversed, Page of Cups reversed, Knight of Wands, and 3 of Pentacles. 3 of Wands coming out again, this time upright. It looks like you're ready for expansion. You need to get out there in the world. Make some moves in the world. Go after what you desire. It feels like having adventures, experiences. Because the past environment, it did not grow. It feels like this past relationship that feels like you're clearing up, healing from. There's no growth. There was no evolution. There was no whatever it is that you wanted out of that relationship. It is what it was. Stuck, stagnant. It feels like someone kind of trapped you. Told you what you wanted to hear, and then there was a bait and switch. They never intended to grow, to change. This is someone very unapologetic, immature, stuck in an immature loop. They never intended to grow up. They never intended to mature. There's a lack of care here. It feels like they just wanted you, Aries. So behind closed doors, they could purposely... It feels like this immaturity, this person's very dysregulated. They don't know how to handle their emotions, and they just pick on you. Then they can be kind to everyone else, but they take out all of their anger, frustration, immaturity, and they get to watch you suffer. It makes them feel powerful. And this person's just unapologetic. They don't care. What's interesting here is there's a lot of opportunity or invitation to recreate to recreate yourself, Aries. Go after what you desire. Maybe something around finding people to work with. Getting out of that two energy, needing to center in your life romantic relationships. There's something here about working with others, groups, so you can find yourself, so you can decenter romantic relationships. So that's not the only experience. Justice reverse coming out as a challenge. Once you leave this type of toxic connection, devil energy relationship, once you leave and you start healing, then you start seeing all the injustices that you tolerated. Whew. And it's a lot. It's a lot. Feels like you were playing fair and someone else was manipulating, lying, deceiving. They weren't playing the same they were manipulating. It wasn't what you thought it was. And it's a challenge for you to see and understand. It feels like it's hard to, once you realize what was really going on, to heal. To allow yourself to heal, to become your most authentic version. Okay, some of you, as you leave this connection, it feels like there's a lot of toxic people that enable the past person. And it feels like when you decide to leave this relationship, there's so many emotions coming up. It could be overwhelming. That feels like a lot of repressed emotions. To try to make this work, you had this relationship, trying to make it work, you had to repress, stuff a lot of your difficult emotions. And so when you leave the connection, all those repressed emotions are coming up to be felt. And it might be overwhelming, a lot of woundedness that you ignored to stay in this connection. It also feels like you're vulnerable at the end, purposefully so. And feeling like nobody is on your side. There's something about being tactical and mindful and just recognizing who shows up in a caring way and who's not. Because you might be cutting out more than just a ex-partner. Yeah. So, it feels like a very powerful month for transformation and change. So I hope that's helpful, Aries. Have a great November. Take care.